We've got big breaking news tonight. For the second night in a row, Senate Republicans have rebuked President Donald Trump, voting once again to overturn his tariffs, this time on Canada. A stunning result for the President of the United States, who really has egg on his face this evening as he is in Asia meeting with President Xi Jinping of China in just moments. Tonight, 4 Senate Republicans voted alongside all Senate Democrats to overturn Donald Trump's tariffs on Canada. The 4 Senate Republicans are Mitch McConnell from Kentucky, Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, Susan Collins from Maine, and Rand Paul, also from Kentucky. Now, this is the second day in a row that Donald Trump was rebuked on the Senate floor by his own party. Because just one day ago, those same 4 Senate Republicans, along with North Carolina Republican Senator Tom Tillis, voted to overturn Donald Trump's tariffs on Brazil. Donald Trump had imposed 50% tariffs on Brazil. They voted to overturn it. Donald Trump had imposed many tariffs on Canada. They voted to overturn them just minutes ago. And it's a stunning rebuke for the President of the United States. Why? Because J.D. Vance, the vice president, had warned Republicans in the Senate, don't do it. Don't vote against the administration's interests. And well, his own party didn't listen to him, voting against the administration's interests. Let's talk about what this means for Trump and the future of tariffs. Well, this Senate resolution has now passed, just like the one regarding Brazil. It moves to the House of Representatives now, where Mike Johnson has the option really when to hold a vote on whether or not the House will overturn Trump's tariffs on Brazil and on Canada. And then ultimately, it will go to the President of the United States. Now, here's the thing. This resolution is not going to end tariffs on Canada, no matter how much some people may want that. But what is significant about this resolution is that for the second night in a row, the President of the United States has been rebuked by his own party. When does that happen in American politics? It doesn't. It doesn't happen. It happens very infrequently, actually. And what we're seeing right now, really, truthfully, is some cracks within the Republican Party. We're seeing it in the House, we're seeing it in the Senate. The Senate specifically, we're seeing it as Senate Republicans are actively rebuking the president, voting against him publicly on the Senate floor. In the House, we continue to see more and more cracks over the government shutdown. Before I continue, make sure to subscribe to support my work. Share this everywhere as well. Mike Johnson in the House of Representatives is getting continued pushback from his own party as we speak today, from folks I speak to on Capitol Hill for the second night in a row as well. He is getting pushback from those in his own party as we speak. Why? Because they don't like the way Mike Johnson has handled the government shutdown. They just simply don't. And so they're in a situation where Mike Johnson may soon have to negotiate with Democrats to reopen the federal government. Now, Mike Johnson, for his part, says, what's the point? Why would I do this? Literally, that's a direct quote from Mike Johnson. But the point is that in 2 days, SNAP benefits are going to run out for 42 million Americans. And those 42 million Americans aren't just located in blue districts or in blue states. They're located in districts and states across the country, red and blue. Some are not even partisan people. And so they're going to be knocking on the doors of their constituents or of their representatives, of Mike Johnson, of and other Republican leaders in the House and the Senate, demanding answers. And so there is increased pressure on Mike Johnson because now the House of Representatives hasn't been in session since September 19th. It's October 29th. We're over a month. We're nearly a month into a government shutdown. The House hasn't been in session for over a month. And actually, House of Representatives employees missed a paycheck today. So that's significant. And then on the Senate side, you have Senate Republicans rebuking the president and the vice president publicly and outwardly with their votes. Now, are these votes surprising? Is Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, or even Mitch McConnell voting against tariffs a surprise? No. What is a surprise is that they had enough votes to join Democrats to overturn the tariffs. With the way the Senate typically operates in the House, both sides, members of Congress often get free passes to vote for a bill or a resolution that their party does not support. And the reason why they do it is because they may be in a vulnerable district and they're running for reelection, or they personally want to vote against their own party's interests. And so leadership will give them a flyer. So in this case, John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, may have told Susan Collins, hey, you're in a tough race this year. Democrats are going to throw hundreds of millions of dollars at Maine to try to pick up your seat. Feel free to vote against tariffs. Feel free to overturn them. But almost never do you see a situation where people are given these flyers and then Republicans actually, or the party actually gets enough votes to go against and kill the position of their party. And so, what you would typically see in a situation like this is you may have two Republicans vote with Democrats. Oh, it's one vote short, not enough. Three Republicans vote with Democrats. Okay, JD Vance has to come in and break the tie. Got it. Still not enough. But you had four tonight, and you had five last night. And while this momentum is only going to continue because there's only going to be more pressure on senators to vote against Donald Trump's tariffs because Donald Trump's tariffs are actively harming the American economy, actively harming many of the small businesses that are in their states, that are in their districts. They are feeling it. They are feeling the pain as we speak, as we speak. And so these senators really have no choice. They have to vote. They have to vote against their own party. And their party, Majority Leader John Thune, cannot control senators. And so you have pressure on the Republicans in the House, pressure on the Republicans in the Senate. All the while, you know who's not covering this? Mainstream media. Mainstream media just isn't covering this. And so I will. Because right now, in this moment, the public needs to know that the dam really is close to breaking here. I really do think, based on all the conversations I've been having, that we are on the verge of either one of two things happening: a full scale Republican revolt in the House when it comes to Mike Johnson's leadership, or you're going to have a government shutdown ending in the next week. I wouldn't be surprised if by this time next week we're out of a government shutdown because people realize that, hey, you need to fund SNAP. Hey, you need to make sure air traffic controllers have money to survive during this time. So that's my prediction. I actually think we'll be out of a government shutdown by Thanksgiving, but likely even sooner. We'll see what happens, though, whether my prediction comes true. So in any event, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to support my work. Big moves coming out of the Senate tonight, a big rebuke of the President of the United States. And as always, I'll see you bright and early with another update, so stay tuned for more.